Hey everybody, David here, and today I'm going to be talking about The Gifted, Season 1, Episode 1, Exposed, and this is the premiere episode of the series. This is within the X-Men universe, the X-Men cinematic universe. Now, I was wondering throughout this pilot, this first episode, which part of the X-Men universe, because now we have two timelines. And I think a lot of people were expecting this to be in the new timeline where, Days of Future Past kind of rebooted and began this new timeline of X-Men movies where, if you want, you can say that so far it involves X-Men First Class, X-Men Days of Future Past, then X-Men Apocalypse, maybe Deadpool, maybe Logan. And so far, that's it, as far as we know, with a couple of other movies more on the way. But the way I saw it was that maybe this show is actually in the old timeline. Maybe this is actually a prequel series to Days of Future Past, mostly because Blink was in this episode, in this show so far. Blink is one of the main characters. From my understanding, she was the character in Days of Future Past. She was the one that created portals. She can create two sets of portals, one where she is now, and then another one in another area where she can go through and pop up over there. So she's in this series, and we have a whole bunch of other mutants, some new ones that I'm not too familiar of, including Polaris, I think her name is. She was the mutant that was caught by the Sentinel police, I guess, where she was put in prison. I read earlier today that she is the daughter of Magneto. We got this family that the show centers on mostly, and this family, we think it's a normal family, but we find out that the kids actually are mutants themselves. And they've known for quite some time. The parents didn't know. And I really like that aspect of this TV show, this family aspect, because that's something I don't think we really touched upon a lot in the X-Men movies, is seeing how, parents, a couple of parents, would react to their kids becoming mutants. We've seen a little bit of it in the movies, but a lot of the parents quickly discard the kids, which I always thought was kind of odd. It's like not every parent is going to disregard their kids and throw them out. I think there would be parents very conflicted about their kids being mutants and maybe even try to help them. And the fact that the father even worked with the government, I thought was a really nice angle, because now he became a fugitive, because, it's the love for his kids. And he's not going to, bring his kids in now that he found out they're mutants. He's going to help them escape because he loves them. And that's what I think a real parent would do for their kids. I'm not a parent, but I have parents, and, their love for me, I would think they would sacrifice themselves as well sacrifice their jobs if I was a mutant. Thankfully, I'm not, so they don't have to worry. But yeah, I really like the family aspect of this of the show so far. I do like this group of mutants that are. They're not really the X-Men, but they're not really the Brotherhood of Mutants either. They're like, have their own little club going on, the side mutant group, who I guess are looking for other mutants or helping other mutants escape and stuff like that. And obviously the main family, go to their help eventually towards the end, when we see the police or the government going after them, the Sentinel services or whatever, which I thought was a nice way to tie the Sentinels into this. They even had their own little robots robot sentinels, I guess, going after them at the end, which I thought was cool. And they even had their own drones and stuff. So you can kind of see how I might think that this ties into Days of Future Past. This is kind of like a prequel series to it in some ways. I could be totally wrong. Maybe the producers already confirmed that, you know, this is in the new timeline. But from what I'm seeing, everything seems to kind of point to the fact that, no, this is kind of a prequel series to Days of Future Past. That's how I'm seeing it so far. It just makes the most sense to me right now. I will say that I really like the Stan Lee cameo in the episode. That was really nice. I didn't at first I was like, is that Stan Lee? And then I was like, right, other people kept tweeting that it was Stan Lee. And there was the X-Men theme song from the 1992 animated series was a ringtone in the episode, which got a nice surprise out of me as well. I thought that was really cool. I will say I think I like this series so far. It's the first episode in, and I'm not going to say it was an amazing first episode, but it has me interested. Especially the last couple of minutes there really got me hooked. I think that I'd probably come back and tune in next week. I think it's a much stronger start than the Inhumans so far, which was I didn't hate the Inhumans as much as other people did, but there were problems with those first two episodes. Maybe it was because it was on the IMAX, or maybe it was just because it wasn't a good 2 episodes. And that's funny because I think the Inhumans are only 8 episodes, so they better start cracking the whip and getting better soon. But right now, if you want a Marvel superhero show with people with abilities, I think The Gifted would be the better show to watch right now. I kind of got a little bit of a Heroes vibe. Not too much, but like, it kind of shows you why wasn't an X-Men series done a long time ago. Because if you watch Heroes, people always said Heroes was kind of like X-Men. And it kind of made people wonder, why wasn't there an X-Men series? Now, finally, we have an X-Men series, and I think it was a smart decision. And having Bryan Singer direct the first episode was a really smart move to make, since he has already established himself as understanding this universe and these characters. I am looking forward to the next episode, and I think the first episode was a nice gateway into this universe, and I can't wait to see how it's gonna go, how it's gonna progress. So with that being said, guys, tell me, did you see the first episode of The Gifted? What did you think of it? Was there anything I should have talked about that maybe I'm forgetting right now? I know I forget a lot of things sometimes. I don't write notes during my reviews. I just go by memory, and sometimes that bites me in the ass later on. With that being said, I hope you guys like, subscribe, and until next time, I probably won't be doing episode reviews of this show, but when the season is done, I'll do a whole season review, and I'll give my whole thoughts on it as a whole. So until then, take care.